Welcome back to the beginning of term 2, and I hope you and your families have had a wonderful holiday. It's great to have all of our students back today. Today I'm joined by Anita Volombello, one of the key teachers in the Dame Phyllis Frost Centre, and Georgie Malavi, learning leader of the Dame Phyllis Frost Centre. And we're going to focus on the DPFC today a little bit. It's been about 9 months since the centre opened, and it's been a fabulous opening. The students and staff have embraced the centre wholeheartedly, and it's been a great addition to our school. But particularly today, we wanted to talk to our community about how the school, and particularly Dame Phyllis Frost Centre, is responding to supporting students with gifted and talented skills, and some thinking and work that we've been doing around gifted and talented student support at the college. Now, many years ago, we had what was called a Dimensions program, Georgie. Can you help us understand why we've moved away from the Dimensions program into another space?
Absolutely. It's, as Roger said, it's been a really exciting time within the DPFC and exploring our new space and understanding the different ways that we can actually support students within that space. And part of that has been reviewing the offerings that the DPFC have across the school in terms of supporting students. And one of those was looking at the Dimensions program and how we support students who are high achieving within that program. Historically, students were invited to join the Dimensions program, and as part of that they would have opportunities to explore their learning potential, mainly through extracurricular opportunities such as Tournament of the Minds.
Yep.
We reviewed the program last year, and the feedback that we received gave us some really good insights and ways that we could perhaps enhance that offering, including embedding learning opportunities and challenging enrichment opportunities for students more within the curriculum, as well as utilising the wealth of knowledge and expertise that we currently have at the college across all our learning faculties that we have.
Anita, you've been pivotal in designing our new response to supporting students with particular talents. Can you give us a little bit of an idea about what that's going to look like at the school moving forward?
Sure. So the STEP program is based on Garnier's philosophical theory of giftedness and talent. And basically Garnier identifies a range of different areas in which students or people can show talent and skill, and talks about the process where people have inherent gifts and how through a developmental process those gifts become talents or capabilities. So what STEP aims to do is to support that developmental process where people are able to, or students are able to progress from that inherent gift and turn them into a talent. It's doing that through 3 different areas. The first is through, first of all, identifying students that fit within this cohort, so students that present with very high general reasoning abilities, and to track their progress over time through the curriculum. STEP is also working with different learning areas to ensure that appropriate curriculum benchmarks are set and that students are also accelerated through those benchmarks where appropriate, and through skill workshops where students are developing interpersonal skills to help that developmental process, as well as working on passion projects specific to different learning areas.
Yep. So, Georgie, if you could maybe succinctly identify the objectives of our new program, which we've named STEP, of course. So the objectives of the STEP program for our school?
It's really simple. It's about working together, working with the DPFC, different learning areas, classroom teachers, parents, students, working together so that we are providing opportunities that allow students to explore their passions and be challenged within their curriculum so that they can reach their full potential.
There's a key change there, isn't there? Because we are moving from an outside the curriculum model to an inside the curriculum model. That's really the key change, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Anita, how will students be identified to be involved in the program?
Sure. So we're using standardised assessment that occurs either when students are entering into Year 7 or any point across the college. So the ACER General Abilities Test is used. That enables us to identify students who present with those very high general reasoning abilities, and they'll be tracked and supported through STEP. Where appropriate, sometimes additional assessment might be needed to gain a better idea of that student's learning profile. and also students who are excelling at specific subject areas will be invited to different elements of STEP also.
And that's the beauty of this program, Roger, that we recognise that there are students who perform really well on standardised assessments, but we're also acknowledging those students who have those subject specific passions and talents.
So maybe if we're particular, can you tell us what it might look like for a Year 8 student in English, say?
Sure. So looking at a student in Year 8, if they had entered the school in Year 7, then the idea would be that they would have initially been identified through that assessment that occurred and tracked and supported throughout Year 7 as well. But on starting Year 8, the information of that student's capabilities would be shared with all of the subject teachers and the specific skill set that we'd expect that child to be presenting within the classroom. Then that student's progress will be tracked. So if we're talking about the English faculty, then their English teacher would be tracking how they're progressing within the classroom. And myself and heads of year would also be looking at how that student is achieving and gain feedback about that progress. So based on that feedback, students may then be invited into, say, a skills workshop. So if, for example, the child was perhaps struggling with organisation and that was getting in the way of them submitting their work and reaching that potential, then we may do some skills workshops around organisation and time management. If the student's progressing well in the classroom, then the teacher would be giving them opportunities within the curriculum to enhance and excel beyond, say, that set Year 8 English curriculum. And students would also be invited into different learning area-based workshops. So, for example, we've just started an English anthology project with the current Year 8s, where students who are showing flair with their creative writing abilities have been invited into this anthology project to further that. And it not only looks at developing their creative writing skills, but also their project management skills, teamwork, and working towards deadlines and organisation.
What I see very clearly is that we're moving away from a one-size-fits-all to a deeply personal response, isn't it? To not just to individual children, but also to particular aspects of the child's learning. Georgie, how will we progressively roll out STEP through the school? What's the plan that we have?
Yeah, so currently STEP is being trialled and piloted within the secondary school. So the middle school students have been invited to participate on the STEP program and have also been included within the anthology project in English. Throughout the rest of this year and beyond, learning areas will be working with the DPFC to create those passion projects and those challenging opportunities for students within their learning areas. Discussions are currently taking place with the primary school with the hope that STEP will be implemented and the shift from dimensions will happen in 2020.
Yep. And we've talked a lot about students, of course, but how will parents interact with the STEP program, Anita?
So at this stage, letters went home to parents last term for students in middle school, indicating those students who are presenting with those skills and that will be tracked and supported through STEP. Parents will then, and that will continue to happen as students are identified as they progress through the school. Parents can expect to get invitations of workshops or different projects that are being run, and students will be invited into those. Parents are also encouraged to have conversations with heads of year and with myself about how their child is progressing and how they're being enhanced within the classroom, and also see a shift in conversations with teachers at things like parent-teacher interviews and in progressive reporting around how the students are not just meeting the curriculum expectations for that year level, but are progressing beyond, being challenged beyond that curriculum.
And what about the Dame Phyllis Frost Centre's physical response to supporting STEP? Because we talked about programs and people, but what about the space itself? How will that operate, Georgie?
Yeah, as I said, it's been really exciting to explore the different ways that the centre can be used and will continue to be used as we roll this program out. And we're really excited to see how the learning areas will utilise this space for their passion project or challenge projects that they're doing with the support of Anita. But most importantly, we see it as a space where our high achieving students can congregate, meet together, have like-minded conversations and seek the support of Anita within the centre so that they're able to to have those experiences together.
And Dame Phil is really presenting a new model of learning physically, isn't it? The conference rooms are really popular, allow groups of students to work in small groups and teams, and that's really informing our work with the senior school refurbishment as well. So I hope you've enjoyed hearing a little bit about how the Dame Phyllis Frost Centre is going to support gifted and talented programs in the school. As I said earlier, for me the key change has been a move from support from outside the curriculum, say in an extracurricular space, to embedded support within the curriculum. My view very clearly is that students perform best when educated within context, and that's where I'm really committed to this program and its methodology. If parents have any questions about STEP, please feel very free to speak to Anita or Georgie. Just by way of conclusion, it's lovely to have all of our students back for the start of Term 2. The beginning of Term 2 is really quite a busy time because, of course, during the whole of Term 1 we've been working towards our Poppy project. The school's Anzac Day service is on Wednesday at midday, and it's going to be quite an amazing service with the Poppy project installation having been completed on the Tuesday. So I'd really love to invite all parents, if you have the opportunity, to come to school for our Anzac Day service on Wednesday the 24th of April. You'd be most welcome to share in what's really a moving experience on the banks of Brushy Creek, and also to have a look at the incredible work of the Poppy project. So thanks very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful start to Term 2. Thank you.